right, and welcome back. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my actual interprofessional experience. It's just me being silly. For my project, I had the privilege of working as both a fundraising and cleaning assistant to Pali Yoga Studio in their participation with the recent December Arts Alive community-wide event. Fortunately, I get to report that my interprofessional experience was a huge success. From my studies in this course and this direct hands-on experience here, I feel I've discovered and gained various positive qualities within myself that assisted in being able to fulfill my duties and be a good interprofessional service member for the sake of this assignment, Pali Yoga, and my community. The training gained and knowledge instilled from this experience, I hope, will continue to be applicable in the future when working on various public health projects at other places, as well as I continue to do more service here. To further define what I mean by a fundraising or a cleaning assistant, let me tell you about some of the activities I participated in, as well as explain some of the various tasks I performed to help the event run smoothly. Arts Alive is a fundraiser for local artists that is run community-wide by local businesses once a month in each town of Humboldt County, California, on a rotating schedule. Various forms of art are put on display, as you've seen some today: plain, musical, spoken art, be it poetry, stories, to the community at mixers, social events, and they're held at several prime businesses located within each town. On December 7th, 2019, Pali Yoga participated in this and featured a musical performance from a local group called the Potholes, and featured artwork from Sasha Lyth, a local ceramics artist, as well as acrylics on canvas, which are some of the ones that you're seeing here today hung in the clip shown just before this. Prior to the event, several hours we all spent in discussion with the owners of the studio, Ben and Rupali Brown, the artists being featured, who I already mentioned, the Potholes, as well as Sasha Lyth, and a few of the other volunteers who would also be helping during the event and help throughout with advertising, fundraising, cleaning, things of that sort, the same types of things I would be doing. Part of this required outside work time on each of our parts, as we all used various social media outlets and word of mouth to our own friends and family and network to provide additional advertisement for the event. Likewise, I also committed additional hours of my time to assist with the deep cleaning of the studio prior to the event from all of their daily business and prior charitable functions to ensure that everything would be safe and sanitary ahead of time for the December Arts Alive. During the week before the event, I assisted with another quick cleaning of the studio, as well as the bathroom area. We all came in, being the artists, the owners, and the volunteers, including myself, and hung the artists' acrylic art that are on the walls. We got that ready, as well as set up tables ahead of time and display tables for the ceramics along the walls, the refreshment table, and on the day of the event, I arrived early and aided with the setup of the actual stage area, microphones, and any sound system, electronics, those types of things. I clearly spent time throughout the event ensuring that it remained clean, remained sanitary, that the refreshment table was consistently refilled, everything of that sort. Throughout the event, I did also stay present and participated in fundraising efforts by networking, mingling, communicating, and socializing with different business owners and community members that were coming into the event, as well as just prime stakeholders for Pali Yoga, whether it be students, members, philanthropists that also participate, or other artists and the artists themselves. I provided a positive presence, and I noticed throughout that additional opportunities of how to market to social media by making posts during the event. I took photos and video, not just for those purposes, but for fundraising as well. Immediately following the event, all of the volunteers and owners came together to just do a kind of quick accounting, cleanup, and takedown of any wall art that had been sold, package any art that had been sold, and ensure that everything was back to a safe and sanitary condition for the evening to continue business and practicing yoga the next morning. I also was able to spend a short period of time in discussion with one of the owners, Ben Brown, discussing my experience and various performance measures that were set out ahead of time, and if they'd been met, and how we can adjust things for the future events. Excuse me. I've been sick, so I apologize. In order to accomplish all of this and still perform at my best, I found several qualities to be beneficial. However, a few attributes stood out and seem, in my opinion, to be more of a requirement in order to be a good interprofessional service member for public health. I think having the ability to multitask is essential. With this, an ability to plan ahead and remain organized are often requirements to multitask successfully. Therefore, as we learned throughout the course, strategies such as performing a SWOT analysis, whether it be managing or attending board meetings and advisory committee meetings, just being present throughout all of those, maintaining positive, like having good communication skills, networking with these local business owners, stakeholders, community members, anyone involved, and who could be involved in the situation, whether it be on the client side or on the business side, as well as keeping tabs on the budget with, planned reviews of the work, as we did the accounting at the end of the evening, and any accounting for expenditures, things of that sort. Luckily for this event, refreshments were provided by the volunteers. I even brought in some homemade cupcakes for the event. Things like that can often reduce costs. At the same time, good communication skills, I've already mentioned, are imperative. Because the nature of this work, service, helping others in a public health atmosphere, acting with compassion, and I think also an acceptance of the diversity of others, will also allow for activities to run smoother. Lastly, an ability to remain humble and accept criticism is equally important for completion of the service task, as well as gaining knowledge and growing from each experience for the future. For example, let me tell you, I was able to recognize that because of my own personal mental health background and issues of struggling with social anxiety, PTSD, things of that sort, I continuously felt more comfortable socializing with guests or providing customer service information when working alongside another staff member or volunteer during the event. I spoke to Ben in the performance review afterward, and he admitted this used to be a struggle for him and has become easier over time. From this, our discussion divulged and centered more around how often we participate in doing something, whether we are alone or with others, and whether it's, just whether it be physical with our bodies or mentally with our minds, the more often that we do something, it becomes easier. So we discussed practicing patience, the welcoming atmosphere that it is required throughout these events, as well as just being in the studio as a member and a student, promoting their mission, their values. and their vision. In truth, I think it will take having both knowledge gained from my education in this course, as well as the skills gained through experiences such as this, to take me to not only being just a good interpersonal service worker, but the best one that I can be. Thank you for watching this video and sharing in this experience with me. Stay tuned at the end of the video if you're interested. I've included a link to live feed from the actual December Arts Alive event here at Pali Yoga Studio.